चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So we will just continue our discussion on purport. Actually, we have to take sloka recitation also. So I will just take few minutes and then I will try to go back to shlokas. We have recited these verses, so I'll just we'll just summarize what we are discussing. So here we are seeing how Narada Muni is trying to give instructions. First, he mentioned that how whatever you have told, you have not sufficiently described the glories of Supreme Lord. So that was the main mistake. Like many people, they read Bhagavad Gita, and some people they read from childhood Bhagavad Gita, and they know so much of Bhagavad Gita. And when you ask them what you are doing, he says we are following Karma Yoga, which is given. And when you say that there is this shloka Sarvadharman Parityajya also in Bhagavad Gita, they say yeah, it is there. And some people they didn't even notice it, because other things are so many times told that this is only one time this shloka is mentioned. It slips from the mind of people. That is what is happening here with. That's what is Narada Muni is trying to tell Vyasdev also. You have told many other things many times, and you have missed this main point. So that is the mistake you have done. So here, then he is telling that even if it is not properly composed also, so we'll try to remember all these translations. This is a very important sequence. That's why I'm trying to do the revision. Nayat vachas chitra padam hareresho jagat pravittam pragnita karhit tadvayasam tirthamushanti manasa. So this is the important point here. This shloka is telling this is whatever other literature, even though it is very flowery, but it is a place of pilgrimage for crows. And then next shloka says that even if it is improperly composed, but the bhav is there to glorify the Lord, then it is appreciated by the men, the purified men who are talori honest. The bhav is very important, that I want to glorify the Lord. Even if it is improperly composed, that is not a problem. And then next shloka says, not only this literature which is Mandal literature, even Upanishads, even Naishkarmya is all given in Upanishads. Even Upanishads, if it's Achyuta Bhava Varjitam, if it is not having Achyuta, then Nashobate, they are dirty. So Shobate is beautiful. Nashobate means they are not beautiful, they are dirty. Jnanamalam Putas Punashashot Abhadrameshwate. So this is another thing. He says. Then here, then he glorifies. He gives the 4 qualities of Vyas Maharshi because of which you will do. Vyas Maharshi says, okay, you dictate, I'll write now. No, you will write. And you will write in what? You will write in Samadhi. So this is a very important word here. We need to ourselves meditate on Krishna to help others. If we want to give Krishna to others, if we want to give Krishna to others, we ourselves need to meditate on Krishna. That is very important. And one important point from today's discussion on Paribhash Sutra, maybe I will, Prabhuji may share tomorrow, but I'll share from my side today for you. That what you call as Paribhash Sutra. So definition of Paribhash Sutra is anime niyame kari paribhasha iti. That means when rule is not established, when something is random without any system, then the rule is established then that establishes a certain order or a key to organization, which is called Paribhashudra. That means no rule was there before and everything is random without any system. Now you are establishing certain order or the key to organize. That is called Paribhasha. All the avatars are mentioned, but no rule is mentioned. In the chapter of third chapter, no rule is mentioned. All the avatars are mentioned. Now you are making a rule for all these avatars. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So that is the rule you made for this chapter, because in that chapter, now the huge number of avatars are made, but rule is not set. Since it is done at the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and where the chapter is describing about avatars, when you tell at that time, okay, now you have done all the avatars, now Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So that makes it more powerful. And it also takes the it does not need any support. It is standing on its own. Of course, we have discussed these things, and this is one point. Anyway, I'll not go to that. We'll continue our discussion. So here, when Vyasa Maharshi is in samadhi, you write in samadhi. Samadhi means what? When I am chanting, I should be absorbed in my chanting. When I am hearing, I should be absorbed in my hearing. I should be absorbed in my reading. When I have absorption on Krishna, then only I can be able to give to others. Then I'll be able to preach others. I'll benefit others. If I myself are not absorbed in my chanting, hearing, reading, then we cannot do much benefit to others. This is the point. So it says that, okay, you at this stage, oh Vyasa, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. You are firm in the verb and situated in truthfulness. So these are the 4 qualities. And thus, you can think of the pastimes of Lord in trance, in samadhi, for the liberation of people in general from all material bondage. Right? We have discussed this purport. Then he says that whatever you desire to describe that is separate in vision from the Lord, simply react with different forms and names to agitate the mind. Anything that is not, which is separate in vision from the Lord, will agitate the mind. Agitation of mind is not happiness of the soul. Agitation looks happiness, but it is not happiness. The agitation creates certain type of emotion in us, and we feel it as pleasure. But the vegetation subsides, then it creates some pain. This is called dopamine effect. Even by scientists also, they have understood. Like somebody take drugs, so the mind gets excited, and that excitement they feel as happiness. When they are seeing some horror movie or some suspense thriller or some any other, even illicit activity people are doing, that time mind agitates so much. That's why they get some, even gambling, illicit activities, even drugs and all, they agitate the mind. That agitation is considered pleasure. That's why they want to repeat that activity again and again. And now when they are repeating next time, they'll not get the same amount. That's why they need more. Drugs and all, why they become addictive. The same dose won't help. They need more to agitate. But that is not happiness. As the wind agitates the boat, which has no resting place. But when we keep our mind at the lotus feet of Krishna, it becomes very calm. So this we have discussed. And then he says Jugupsitam. Jugupsitam means verily condemned. Already people are interested. This is 4 Kumaras, they tell to Brahma that what is your creation? You have made a perfect match between sense and sense objects. How can anybody be free from it? What it means is, see, my eyes want to see some beautiful forms, and forms are also made in such a way that eyes will get completely attracted to it. So there is a perfect match between eyes and the objects which we see. Many of the objects which we are getting attracted. Similarly with ears, I want to hear my glories, or I want to hear the ninda of others, or I want to hear some music. And ears, there is a perfect match. Say if very dirty sound is coming, ears will say, okay, no more hearing. I'm not interested in hearing such noises. I'm not interested. But there are objects made in such a way. The food items are made in such a way, it will match with our tongue. We will be very happy eating it. So he says, You have created in such a way that the perfect match. There is no way of getting out. And similarly here, Narada Muni is telling to Vyasa Maharshi also, Jugupsitam. Already Jugupsam Dharma Kritenu Shasata. Already people are interested in sense gratification, and you have made a literature to help them in sense gratification, how to do it in a better way. And on your name, they will enjoy. That's what he is telling here. So people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable because they are guided under your instructions and they will accept such activity in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. There is no way that they can come out of it. So this is another concern which and so vichakshano sharhati veditum vibhor. So he says anantaparasya nivritta sukham. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. So this is very important. Lord is unlimited. That's why he can give that unlimited happiness. Anything limited cannot give us permanent happiness. Cannot give us unlimited. Soul, we always need unlimited happiness. Dil mange more. We always want more, more, more. But what happens is things in this world are achit, niranand, asat. But we want sachit anand. We want eternity. We want full knowledge. We want full bliss. But none of the object is here. But here, the Supreme Lord is unlimited. So he can give Ananta Parasya. So he can give. Lord is unlimited. That's why this word is there. Now, if you see the next sentence, we'll see why this Ananta Param is given. If you see, only a very expert personality, retired from the activity of material happiness, desires to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the way of transcendental realization by your goodness. Thus, descriptions of transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Through descriptions of activities. Now we see that you will see that there is no connection between this word and this whole. He's telling, okay, people who are retired from activity, that means they are not interested, and who are interested in spiritual values. What you do, you help them. You help them by explaining the transcendental activities of the Lord. And Lord is supremely unlimited because he can give that unlimited happiness, because these people who are retired, they are not interested in any material happiness. Now they need some unlimited happiness. Who can give? The Supreme Lord who is unlimited. So deserves to the understanding this knowledge of spiritual values. So they need spiritual values. And therefore, those who are not well situated due to material attachment should be shown the way of transcendental realization. So we have discussed this purport also. We'll go further. Tektva swadharmam charanambujam harer bhajanna pakvota pate tato edi yatra kvabhudrabhuta vasham bhavartapto bhajatam swadharmata. So, okay, who have 4 seconds, this is a very important verse for all of us. Tektva swadharmam. Okay, give up your things, just surrender to Krishna. Not that we don't, anything that is favorable. Say certain rules of Varnashram Dharma are favorable for our bhakti, we accept them. Not because they are Varnashram, because they are favorable for bhakti. That's the reason we accept them. But if somebody is just doing Swadharma, but he does not have Krishna in his life, then there is no much value, because he will be. See, what happens is, if you follow Varnashrama, we come to, our Swabhava becomes into mode of goodness. Our Swabhava is in Rajoguna, Tamoguna and Sattoguna. So we can come to a level of goodness, which is a best way to enjoy. Because in goodness, 2 things you will get, knowledge and happiness. So the Swabhava is in goodness, and you will enjoy in a goodness way. That's why Varnashram is given. Now, for us, our Swabhava may be in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. And along with that, there is something called Shraddha. So, Swabhava is there, Shraddha is there. And Shraddha for the people in Varnashrama is in 3 modes only: goodness, passion, ignorance. For us, the Shraddha is transcendental. That's why we can do Tektva Swadharmam Charanambujam Hare. If somebody is Charanambujam Hare, Tektva, Shraddha is transcendental. That's why he will not get the reactions of things which he does not follow in this Varnashrama duty, because it is based on Shraddha. Shraddha, because it is transcendental, this don't apply. People Shraddha will be in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Sometimes their Swabhava may be in goodness, our Swabhava may be in ignorance, but our Shraddha is transcendental. So we may be, sometimes you see devotees are very angry, sometimes devotees are very irritating, and sometimes they may also cheat. That is because of their Swabhava. But their Shraddha is transcendental. So we should always consider Shraddha part. Okay, they are transcendental Shraddha, we should respect that. Some people may be in mode of goodness, very, very cultured, respectful, gentle, and no, never cheats, never lies, very, very kind. All these good qualities are there because their Swabhava is in goodness. But their Shraddha may be within the three modes. You're understanding difference? So these three modes of Shraddha, we should not take it very, means okay, that is good. They are in goodness, Shraddha is goodness. For us, more important is this highest Shraddha. Charanam Bhujam Hare. This is very important. That's why we should not judge person based on the Shobhava. His may be Shobhava in three modes. We have to see what is his Shraddha. Clear? And this is very important for us to understand. So here, that is the reason when he is Taktva Sadharmam, he will be free from all these things. I didn't make any chart. I'll make and send. We will discuss on that. I didn't make any chart on it. I'm just telling. I will make it. Actually, Balaram Shitpur also made in some classes, but anyway, we can also make. I'll make it tomorrow and I will share. And then we have discussed Taseva Heto Prayateta Kovido Na Labhyate Yad Brahmata Muparyada Tan Labhyate Dukkavat Anyata Sukam Kalena Sarvatra Gabiravasa. So who are intelligent should never endeavor for this. Because if you have Shraddha in three modes, you will be in the three lokas only. Bhu, Bhu, Swa. You will be wandering in this material world within this Brahmatam Upariyadaha. From Brahmaloka to Pataloka, you will be going up and down if you are Shraddha in three modes. This is what Nardun is telling. Array, people, even if they don't do their dharma, and what Nardun is telling, don't worry. Just tell the truth. And tell it so emphatically, and whoever is sincere, they will take it. You write, even if it is written not so much, but if it is right, it will take. And what you may say, Array, if they don't follow their dharma, what will happen? No problem. They just given up everything and just surrender to Krishna. By reading this Bhagavatam, they say, okay, I will surrender to Krishna. No problem, because the impressions will remain. Even if they leave Krishna conscious after some time. But the impressions are so strong. Even if they commit offenses also, the impressions don't go. They may be stopped for a long time, but again they can come back. So better they do this activity than doing all this nonsense. Even if they are doing good activity, pious activity, and in the three modes, they are in highest goodness, they'll go to Swargaloka, they'll go to Brahmaloka. After that, what? Again come back. So better they who are intelligent, better they do it in a proper way. Yes, Proj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Shri Gopinath Pranam. Prabhu, can I ask a question now?
Yes.
Okay. Prabhuji, just now you are very nicely explaining about the concept of agitation part, and then you talked about Swabhava and Shraddha and all that. Correct? So in this regard, I had a question. Actually, you have told very nicely that we should not see the Swabhava of the other person, but we should see the Shraddha of the other person and then deal and act accordingly with others. That is what you have explained. Now, in our day-to-day interactions and living, what happens is, although we may be trying to see in that way, but people don't see us also in that way. Means, supposing we see others in the mood of Shraddha, how much Shraddha they have in devotional service and all, and we ignore or don't give importance to their Swabhava and their natures. But the other person, they may see only about our natures, which again disturbs, agitates us, and we get irritated. So you're getting my point, Prabhuji, how to overcome this?
First thing, bro, if we are seeing Shraddha, That means even if they are judging us, we should understand this is their swabhava. Because of
Okay,
their
okay, okay.
swabhava, they are seeing me in this way. So
Okay, okay, okay.
the way now we are able to understand this, we are trying to apply is two reasons can be there. One is they don't have the perfect knowledge about it. What happens is this is what is seen externally, and another thing is people don't have complete understanding of what is swabhava and shraddha. Generally they see the swabhava and judge the people according to swabhava. And another thing is because of always I have fault finding nature, so anything I find fault, so that is my swabhava. So if they are looking at us, we should not much, and we should understand maybe this is what Krishna is giving me in my life to get purified. And that is always helpful also. If you have somebody who is in that way, we have to become more deeper in us so that we don't get affected by situations. And it happens, people are there who will criticize, who will make fun of us, or so many things will happen. We have to become more and more stronger, more and more deeper, to like a eagle. If crows are attacking it, it will not fight, it will fly in the air high so that the crows cannot come up. Similarly, we have to become more deeper within our bhakti, more absorbed in chanting, hearing, reading. We don't get affected by what other people's opinion. That is the only solution, because we cannot change others. That is their swabhava, they'll find faults. We have to understand, okay, they are devotees, I appreciate them, I'll keep distance. And when it comes to us, we should always feel it is Krishna who is arranging for me, it is not that person. If that
Okay.
person is criticizing us, it is not that person who is criticizing, it is Krishna is arranging for me. So to show my attachments, to show my conditioning, so that I can come out of it.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
there will be some people who will be appreciating, there will be some people who will be criticizing, both will be there.
okay. Okay. So basically, we should increase our tolerance levels.
Yes, our absorption in our bhakti.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Okay.
it comes to ourselves, we should not do it. We should always see their shraddha. We should always know that they have pure shraddha. We don't judge.
Okay. Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for encouraging us.
We are the question is how we understand this we are acting in is due to swabhava or shraddha. Presently we are acting because of our we will be acting with our swabhava, and when we are doing some activities we have our shraddha also. Like now we are hearing Bhagavatam, we are doing and some pure devotion activities, that is all our shraddha. So we have to increase our shraddha, so that what happens, our swabhava, it reduces and it also transcends. Now presently the swabhava is in gunas, so we have to make our swabhava at least mode of goodness, then it will transcend. So what happens, the like now when every day morning we are hearing Bhagavatam. So what is happening is our sanskaras has changed. That will affect our swabhava. Now for me, I may not have interest in hearing Bhagavatam initially, but may again and again, I'm sitting and trying to very attentively hear. So then my swabhava changes. I now get addicted to hearing Bhagavatam. So that's how we have to change our swabhava. So presently we may be acting with our swabhava based on how much heavy our swabhavas are. Based on that, we will not. Somebody cannot control their swabhava. They'll be so much attracted to movies or some other food items outside. Even though they have shraddha, their swabhava is very strong. So if swabhava is strong, they go that direction. We have to make our shraddha strong so that we can change our swabhava. That's how it is. Some places we act based on our swabhava. In some places it is based on our shraddha. That but shraddha part should be more. Slowly we increase. And every day morning when we are doing this, this is actually the best thing we can do, because this will heavily affect our swabhava. Early morning, Brahma Muhurta time is the time for us. And now we are sitting and hearing Bhagavatam. This is going to make us so much impression and will change our swabhava.
Great, great, Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now here we are saying tasyeva heto prayateta kovido. So now intelligent person will not go for all these temporary things. Again and again you are going up and down, and you say no. Like Shamanand Prabhu gives this example. One person, he comes to the city and he finds a purse of 2000 rupees, and he takes that purse. He likes it. He likes mirchi bhaji. He says yes, and he with 2000 rupees he eats mirchi bhaji, and his stomach becomes so upset. For 1 week he gets loose motions and is terribly suffering. And then after a few months again he comes to the city. Again he sees he gets a purse of 2000 rupees, and again he again goes and eats mirchi bhaji and again he suffers. Then next time, third time when he comes, he sees a purse and he says, no, 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 this is suffering. Now uh, this is a person who is in a Jnana platform. He understands that this going up and down after Bahunam Janmanamante, he gets this realization. Why am I wandering here, there, up and down? Because at any point, Kshine Punya Mrtalo Kamashanti. Once my karma is gone, then I have to again come back. So he'll start thinking, why should I not try for something permanent? So that's what this person is, who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined, should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet. So which is not obtained here, just get out of it and get something. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it is obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain distress also, like that. And this is what here we have discussed this also yesterday, that no need to worry so much about what is happening here in this material world seriously. And it happens when some news tells, some WhatsApp status, some WhatsApp message, immediately it disturbs. Why this is happening, why this is happening? No, 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 don't take it seriously. And same thing, when our happiness and distress, we should not take these things very seriously, because it is going to come. It is why Kunti Maharani is saying that Vipada Santuta Saswat we discussed today. What she is telling is, she is saying, these things of this material world, I don't want to take seriously. I want something beyond this. That's why these problems in this world will only make me free from this illusion that there is some happiness here. So if some suffering comes, we understand that this is an illusory place, unnecessarily trying to enjoy. So I want to get rid of this illusion. In this material world, there is some pleasure. I want something eternal with you. That is the point. So yeah, till here we discussed yesterday. So I think this purport we'll read again. Yeah, we have read it, but it is very nice purport. We'll just read one more time. Anyway, before third chapter finishes, we have to complete fifth. I'll just check how many verses we have. Chapter is quite big. We have 40 verses. We will try to complete it. We have a question. Devotees also have the same understanding that there is no happiness in this world and only with Krishna we have. So what is the difference between Jnana and Bhakti? For Jnanis, they don't want to develop any relationship. They feel relationship uh, is actually the cause of all problems is relationship. That is their understanding. So say they don't want to keep. They feel the form and relationship, they are the cause of misery. The highest happiness in this world is relationship. When you have very close, intimate relationship with the partners, that is highest relation. That is highest happiness. Highest distress is because of that only. If you are close to any person, you will suffer the maximum. So when Mayavadi they say form is the cause of suffering, because I'm seeing a form, I'm getting attracted. All this form, any food item or woman, man, the form is cause of suffering, relation is cause of suffering. So I don't want any form, I don't want any relationship. They say better go to Brahman and be happy there. But whereas Bhaktas, they say they are attracted to the form of Lord, they want to develop a relation with Lord, serve the Lord. So that is a enjoy in this metal world, but one is interested in a higher level of happiness. So one is coming from minus to zero, we are going to positive. So that is the main difference. Clear, Mataji? Every man, yeah. So every man everywhere is trying to obtain great amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. What we have to see, we have to see the materialistic world from this purpose of Prabhupada. We will be not get illusion. What happens is our greatest challenge presently, because we are in a situation where everybody is going in a one direction and we few people here, some 20, 30, we are going in some other direction. So how to get convinced? So this is the only way why Prabhupada's purports are our source to get convinced and be stick to the process, not to get distracted. Otherwise, new mobiles, new houses, new apartments, and big villas, big cars. So many things are there to distract us, and big position, power, we want prestige, all these things. Every man everywhere is trying to obtain great amount of sense enjoyment, various endeavors. Sense enjoyment is mental enjoyment also. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruity work to become happy in next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that on the moon the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somaras, and the Pataloka, so Pitraloka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during this life or in the life after death. Now many people are not knowing about life after death enjoyment. They are just happy with this enjoyment. Unfortunately, they'll end up in very bad state. Some are trying to reach moon and other planets by some mechanical arrangements, but they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. But it is not to happen. By the law of supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they have performed. So I discussed metaphysical boundaries. By good work only, as prescribed in scriptures, can one obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we can get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would so happen that the two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work, but impermanent. The position in the topmost Brahmaloka and the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined persons must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will be, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or in the planet. Miseries and sorry, miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degree and quality. But no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavor. By personal endeavor, we cannot change. So clear, Robert writing. Everyone is destined for happiness also, so one can get more or less of these things simply, more or less simply personal. Even if they obtain, they can get, sorry, even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. So this is next very nice sloka. न वै जनो जातु कथाञ्चना व्रजन् मुकुन्द सेव्ये अन्नवद्यङ्ग संस्मृत्य स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्ग्रह्य पुमान् विहातुमिच्छेन रशे जगृहो जनम् Rasagraho jana. My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord sometimes fall down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, true to effort, because a person who has once reached the taste of the lotus feet of Lord can do nothing but remember the ecstasy again and again. So this is what happens. Na rasagnu jana. So one who has released the melos, so rasagnu, he has released the melos. This is very important. So even if somebody leaves Krishna consciousness, he will not go anywhere. He will be forced to come back. So there are many stories we hear how people try to go back, but somehow they will be forced to come back to Krishna. But taste is also there. They don't feel any taste in other activities. It becomes difficult. So we'll read this nice purport. A devotee of Lord automatically becomes uninterested in the enchantment of material existence because of he is rasagni, or one who has tasted the sweetness of lotus feet of Lord Krishna. There are certainly many instances where devotees of Lord has fallen down due to uncognital association, just like fruity workers who are always prone to degradation. But even though he falls down, a devotee is never to be considered the same as a fallen karmi. A karmi suffers the results of his own fruitive actions, whereas devotee is reformed by chastisement directly by the Lord Himself. See, for us, if we are doing any mistake, directly Lord is going to punish, and it will not be so simple. The suffering of an orphan and the suffering of a beloved child of a king are not on the same, one and the same. An orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him. But a beloved son of a rich man, although he appears to be on the same level as the orphan, is always under the vigilance of his capable father. A devotee of the Lord, due to wrong association, sometimes imitate the fruit workers. The fruit workers want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee foolishly thinks of accumulating some material power in exchange for devotional service. Such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord Himself. As a special favor, He may remove all material paraphernalia. By such action, the beloved devotee is forsaken by all friends and relatives, and so he comes to his senses again by the mercy of the Lord and is set right to execute his devotional service. See here, one very important is when we are performing that time, we should have very sincere desire. Then no matter what we do, we will come back. Krishna will make it. But if you don't have the sincere desire, then Krishna will not do. If you have sincere desire, everybody will reject. And Krishna will make us fall on our knees and says, okay, Krishna, I understood. Thank you very much. I am coming back. Otherwise, people will go away. You will not get the taste. Even once we have sincerely chanted, Prabhupada says about one of his disciples, he left Krishna consciousness, then devotees asked Prabhupada, what will happen to him? Prabhupada said, he one time sincerely chanted in Vrindavan. So he will come back. And he came back at the time of his death, few months before, came back, he chanted, and he left this world. Prabhupada took him, I don't know where, but he at least chanted in last moment and he that if you have sincerely one time, every day we have to make that endeavor like at least one time I'll sincerely chant today. That's all. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such fallen devotees are given a chance to take birth in the family of highly qualified brahmanas or in rich mercantile family. A devotee in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by the Lord and put in a position seemingly of helplessness. See, there are two types of people. One who is kept in a rich brahmana family or that family, but in some cases, a devotee is in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by the Lord. So if we are doing some mistake and we are immediately caught, then we should not tell to Krishna, Krishna, why did you not save me? I am your devotee, and no, you made me go to such an embarrassing situation, such a terrible situation in my life. Why did you do this to me? That means Krishna is very merciful. That's why I did to you. If he is not merciful, then he will allow you to uh, uh, escape that situation. But that escape is actually not a big favor. But if Krishna made you caught and he made you an embarrassing situation, that means he is keeping you in a more seemingly in a helpless situation. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of Lord is more fortunate than those who are born in good families. See, this is the point. The fallen devotee born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of Lord because they are less fortunate. But the devotee who is put in a forlorn condition is more fortunate because he swiftly returns to the lotus feet of Lord, thinking himself helpless all around. We say, oh, Krishna ne bacha liya. No, I am not caught by doing this. That means you are not so serious. Krishna did not take it seriously. If you are serious, Krishna will make sure that you will be in a trouble. Pure devotional service is so spiritually relishable that a devotee becomes automatically uninterested in material enjoyment. That is a sign of perfection of progressive devotional service. A pure devotee continuously remember the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna and does not forget him even for a moment, not even in exchange of all the opulence of the three worlds. So if difficulty is coming when we are in Krishna consciousness, chant and be happy means when you chant, there will be problems, still we have to be happy. That is the meaning of chant and be happy. So one time one devotee, he he met, this is in Russia. So he met his friend. He told him, see, this is the mantra. And if you repeat it, there is one special thing happens. So first time, whatever you desire will happen. But after that, then everything will happen in the wrong way. So his friend, very sincere person, he very, very sincerely chanted. Is no temple near, no proper books, nothing. He just chanted. And he called after some days and told, you know one thing, it works. He said, I desired something and immediately it happened. And no, he wanted some position or something, got it. And then after a few days again he called. He said, it works. I said, what happened? Now everything is going opposite only. And whatever I am desiring, everything is going away. And then after 1 year, this devotee meets his friend and he never read any book. He did not do anything. And he asked, so now you stopped chanting now? I know. He got offended. He said, how can you say that I'll stop chanting? Not only me, all my family is chanting. He said, but you said no, nothing is going, everything is going opposite. Still, I could not stop chanting. Why? The taste came. So, this is the point. A person who gets the taste and is sincere, even the problem comes, he will not leave Krishna. That is very important. Many devotees, like some in the West, especially, they happen. They hear the holy name. They are hearing the kirtan. One girl, she saw Harinam Sankirtan. She started crying. Started following the devotees. Came to the temple. She started laughing. They gave her beads. A dress changed into sari. That's all. They just get the taste. So next look. इदं हि विश्वं भगवानिवेतरो यतो जगत्स्थाननिरोधसम्भव तद्धि स्वयं वेद भवांस्तथापि ते प्रादेशमात्रं भवतः प्रदर्शितम्. The Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos, and still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated. In him it rests, and onto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have given some only a synopsis. So now I just gave indication. Since I told everything and you know everything, so carry on. For a pure devotee, the conception of Mukunda, Lord Sri Krishna, is both personal and impersonal. The impersonal cosmic situation is also Mukunda because it is the emanation of the energy of Mukunda. For example, a tree is a complete unit, whereas the leaves and the branches of tree are emanated parts and parcels of the tree. The leaves and branches of the tree are also the tree, but the tree itself is neither the leaves nor the branches. The Vedic version Brahman means that since everything is emanate from the Supreme Brahman, nothing is apart from him. Similarly, the part and parcel, hands and legs are called the body, but the body as a whole unit is neither the hands nor the legs. The Lord is transcendental. Lord is the transcendental form of eternity, cognition, and beauty. And thus the creation of the energy of Lord appears to be partially eternal, partially eternal, full of knowledge and beautiful also. So that means the creation of energy of Lord also has these qualities partially. The captivated conditioned souls under the influence of external energy Maya are therefore entrapped in the network of matter nature. Why they are attracted? Because this also has the qualities of eternity, knowledge, and peace because it is the Lord's energy. So we get captivated to not to the Lord, but Lord's energies. If Lord's energy is so beautiful, how beautiful will be the creator? That's what Prabhupada says. If creation is so beautiful, can you imagine how beautiful will be the creation? They accept this as all in all, for they have no information of the Lord who is the primal cause, nor has the information that the part and parcel of the body being detached from the whole body are no longer the same hand or leg as when attached to the body. Similarly, a godless civilization detached from the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just like a detached hand or leg. Such part and parcels may appear like hands and legs, but they have no efficiency. The devotee of the Lord, Sri Vyasdev, knows this very well. He is further advised by Sri Narada to expand the idea so that the entrapped conditioned souls may take lessons from him to understand the Supreme Lord as primeval cause. According to Vedic version, the Lord is naturally fully powerful and thus his supreme energies are always perfect and identical with him. Both the spiritual and material skies and their paraphernalia are emanations of the internal and external energies of the Lord. The external energy is comparatively inferior, whereas the internal potency is superior. The superior energy is living force, and therefore she is completely identical, but the external energy, being inert, is practically identical. Both but both the energies are neither equal nor greater than the Lord, who is generator of all energies. Such energies are always under his control, exactly as electric energy, however powerful it may be, it is always under the control of the engineer. Are all human being and all other living beings are products of his internal energies. Thus, the living being is also identical with the Lord, but he is neither equal or superior to the personality of God. The Lord and the living beings are all individual persons. With the help of the material energies, the living beings are also are also creating something, but none of their creations are equal or superior to the creations of the Lord. The human being may create a small playful smoothie and may throw it into the outer space, but that does not mean that he can create a planet like Earth or Moon and float it in the air as the Lord does. Man with a poor fund of knowledge claim to be equal to the Lord. They are never equal to the Lord. This is never to be. A human being, after attaining complete perfection, may achieve a large percentage of qualities of the Lord, such as to say 78%, but it is neither possible to surpass the Lord or to become equal to him. This disease condition, this is a disease condition only. The foolish being claims to be one with the Lord and thus become misled by the illusory energy. The misguided living beings therefore must accept the supremacy of the Lord and agree to render loving service to him. For this they have been created. Without this, there cannot be any peace or tranquility in the world. Srila Vyasdev is advised by Srila Narada to expand this idea in the Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita, as also the same idea is explained. Surrender fully under the lotus feet of Lord. That is the only business of the perfect human beings. Of course, many points. You all know many of these things, so I am not going to elaborate. So we'll just read 2 3 purports. We have to complete our syllabus. I'll just take next 2 purports. Then we will just take one purport. Then we'll. Your goodness have perfect vision. You yourself can know the supreme personality of God because you are present as plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastime of the supreme personality of God, Sri Krishna, more vividly. So Narada is telling us you are actually the expansion of Supreme Lord. Vyasdev is empowered plenary portion incarnation of the personality of Goddess Sri Krishna. He descends by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the mortal world. The fallen and forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living entities are part and parcel of the Lord, and they are eternally servitors of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures, therefore, are put into systematic order for the benefit take advantage of such literatures and be free from the bondage of mental existence. Although formally Sri Narada Rishi is a spiritual master, Srila Vyasdev is not at all dependent on a spiritual master because in essence he is the spiritual master of everyone else. This is the point. He don't need. But because he is doing the work of Acharya, he has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master even though he be God himself. Without Guru, we cannot go on to spiritual world. Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Rama, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead accepted formal spiritual masters, although by their transcendental nature they are all cognizant in all knowledge. In order to direct people in general to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, he himself in the incarnation of Vyasdev is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So when Lord comes in a human form, not like Varaha Narasimha, they will accept spiritual master. When they come as when they come as Rama, Krishna, Vyasa Maharshi, Parshurama, then they accept spiritual masters. Okay. Idam hi pumsastapasassutasya vasishtasya suttasya cha buddhidattayo avichito artha kavibir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Because we have to complete syllabus, I'll just take, please bear with me for 2 more minutes. We'll just read the purport and go ahead. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting, and of the hymns and charity, culmination in the transcendental description of Lord who is defined in choice poetry. So this is what has learned person says. All the tapasya's yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. So everything is it culminates in the transcendental descriptions of it. Human intelligence is developed for advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. This perfection of life culminates in the realization of Supreme Being, Vishnu. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the eternal beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand the culmination of perfection of or self-realization depends on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, which is transmitted, which is transient and miserable. This is all Vishnu are entrapped by Vishnu Maya, utilize advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyment. Sri Narada Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of cosmic universe is but an emanation from the Lord out of his different energies because the Lord has set in motion by his inconceivable energy the actions and reactions of the created manifestation. They have come to be out of his energy. they rest on his energy, and after inhalation, they merge into him. Nothing is therefore different from him, but at the same time, the Lord is always different from him. So, yeah. I will tomorrow. We'll do third chapter. Shloka Vya memorization. Today I did not immediately get the file, so that's why I didn't want to waste your time. I had to somehow I just placed the file and I missed it, so I didn't want to waste time. That's why I started. It may take 1 minute, but I thought why to waste. Tomorrow we'll definitely do. Yeah, I will send the recording of third. So we'll just complete this purport and end for today. When advancement of knowledge is applied in service of the Lord, the whole process becomes absolute. The personality of God and his transcendental name, fame, glory, etc., are not different from him. Therefore, all the sages and devotees of the Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in service of Lord. Art, literature, poetry, painting, etc., may be used in glorifying the Lord. The fiction writers, poets, and celebrated literatures are generally engaged in writing of sensuous subjects, but if they turn towards the service of the Lord, they can describe the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Valmiki was a great poet, and similarly, Vyasdev is a great writer, and both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in delineating the transcendental activities of the Lord, and by doing so, have become immortal. Similarly, science and philosophy also should be applied in the service of the Lord. There is no use presenting dry speculative theories for sense gratification. Philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of the Lord. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science, and therefore a great scientist should endeavor to prove the existence of Lord on a scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculation should be utilized to establish the supreme truth as sentient and all powerful. Similarly, all other branches of knowledge should always be engaged in the service of Lord. Knowledge not engaged in the service of Lord is but nuisance. Real utilization of advancement of knowledge is to establish the glory of Lord, and that is the real import. Scientific knowledge engaged in service of Lord and all similar activities are all factually Hari Kirtan or glorification of the Lord. Okay, thank you very much for today. We will how art can be used in service of Lord. Paint the forms of Lord. Different arts are there, not only painting. You have some for you can do different embroidery work that is also comes under art, for making dresses for the Lord, for designing the altar of the Lord. So many ways you can serve. Yeah, you can share your painting pictures with devotees. They'll keep in their status and they'll be happy seeing. Can share your pics to all your photos to all the devotees. They'll be happy taking darshan of Lord. So thank you all very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam